Hey guys, this is Casey here with Lions Den Investments and Reviews. I'm outside right now in my backyard. My wife and I just bought a new house about 2 months ago. So this is the backyard, and we're sitting right behind a pond right now. And there's a lot of development and houses going up here in the back, like you see right here. Whole nother housing section or another phase to the neighborhood that's going up. But the cool thing is I'm not sitting here trying to show off too much with the house and all that, because that's not really what this video is about. But I want to talk about investing real quick, because this is the first house that my wife and I have actually went in on together. And we just, like I said, we just moved in a couple months ago, back in June of 2019. We're in the end of August right now, and we got the house appraised as soon as we moved in. And the house that we bought went up over like 10% just in the short couple weeks that we were here, as far as the value. And the reason why is because this house that we moved into, there's a lot of development going on around it. And as you can see, these houses that are going up are anywhere between tunes of 380 to 400,000 starting right now. The houses that are going to go up behind me here are being priced in at like 415, 420,000. Okay, so the equity that we're building just by being moving into this house, the equity that we're building is going up substantially in a short period of time. And the prices can go up and down in real estate, so I'm well aware of that, and I'm not banking on selling the house anytime soon or moving anytime soon. So we're gonna stay here for a while. If you would have asked me like 5 or 6 years ago if I could have seen myself, getting married and settling down, with the woman of my dreams, and, getting married, I would have said you're out of your mind, especially because where I was at, mentally. And I just wasn't ready for that kind of commitment. But hey, here I am, 7 years later, and I've settled in. I've gotten married with my wife, who's a beautiful woman. She's very smart. She's way smarter than I am. So a lot of times I listen to her when she gives me advice on things I can do to improve upon myself. So she's a great woman. But here's something to think about. If you're watching this, and let's say you feel a little lost right now or discouraged, maybe you're a little bit younger. I would say this video is probably for people who are in their 20s. Maybe you've graduated college just recently and you're having a hard time finding a job, or being in a position or a situation that you envisioned for yourself and you're just not there yet. I'm gonna tell you, man, keep plugging away. Keep developing yourself. Keep working on it, whatever it is that you're passionate about as far as your craft. Because I can speak from experience. I'm 38 years old, and I don't have it all figured out yet, but I'm still learning. And they say life's a journey, right? Well, I would have to strongly disagree with that, because I believe that life is a process. Okay, it's a process. It's not a fucking journey. I mean, if you consider life a journey, then obviously you're lost, because you don't have any direction. You don't know where you want to go. And I'm telling you right now, if that's you and you're watching this, I can relate, because I was there too in my 20s. Just to give you a quick background, and explain where I came from. Back when I was about 18 years old, I graduated high school, and I had no idea what I wanted to do. Like, I knew I was really good at drawing and making designs, so and I wanted to get into computers because my dad had always told me that computers was going to be the future. So I've always been artistic, and so I got into a communication and design degree over here at our local community college. And at the time, computer software programs and all that, it was still new, so there was a lot of learning curve involved with trying to figure out the software and all that. Anyways, to make a long story short, I ended up dropping out of college because I was failing my classes. The education system was not, I don't think they were prepared to teach the kids coming into the program the new software programs that were involved with getting the degree for communication and design. I didn't have any money. My parents didn't have any money. We were all pretty much broke, living paycheck to paycheck, and so I didn't have any support financially. I had to go into debt and borrow money from the government for student loans, and it was a rough time getting to where I'm at, because it took over a decade to get to this point where I've got my own house with my wife, and we can share our dreams together and build upon that as a couple and as a team. So just to fill you in, if you're somebody who just feels like you don't have it figured out, I mean, like I said, I can totally relate with you, because I'm still trying to figure it out too. I mean, life, like I said, it's a process, and as time goes by, you're going to grow, you're going to learn, you're going to get smarter, and just give it time, because part of being successful, I think, is constantly being able to work on developing yourself from a business perspective, from an education standpoint, and getting out there, not being afraid to fail. Like, you cannot be afraid to fail. You have to go out and give it all you have and leave it all out, laying out there on the line, because when you fail, if you do it right, you should be able to learn from your failures, okay, and then take what you learned from your mistakes and move forward, so that way next time when you encounter that same situation, you can take a different angle that won't set you back. All right, so I'm just rambling on here, some of the thoughts that are in my head right now when it comes to being successful and what success means to me. And like I said, I believe it's a process. It's nothing that's set in stone. It's not guaranteed. It can be taken away from you at any time. I know there was one point in time back when I was like 20, from about 22 to 25, where I got addicted to drugs. Okay, I had a drug addiction to cocaine, and I'll tell you right now, that completely sent me down the wrong path. It damn near ruined my life. And I look back at it now, and I've had this conversation with my dad a couple times, and I told him, I said, if I wasn't able to snap out of it, and realize that I had a problem by looking at myself in the mirror, I probably right now would be either dead, in jail, or completely living on the streets. And I overcame my drug addiction because I had to cut everybody out of my life and start all over. Like, I literally had to reprogram myself and start all over. And I was doing that around the age of 25. And I can tell you right now that was one of the hardest things I've ever had to do in life, was start all over. But it is possible. I'm gonna tell you, it is possible, because from that time on, I basically worked myself into an IT career in information technology, and within 2 years of overcoming my drug addiction and making like $12 an hour, I was in a position where I was making like 50 grand a year. and then I kind of worked my way up in information technology over the years. Got burnt out on that. Decided to switch careers because I was working, 65, 70 hours a week, and I was capped out. I was capped out on my income, and so I went back to school, tried to get another degree in engineering as an engineering technician and drafter. I graduated as of May in 2019, and during that whole time I was in the program, I actually landed a couple jobs where I was working for a couple major engineering firms, and I took a pay cut just due to the lifestyle change that I wanted. And that brings me to another point, guys. Like, if you don't like your situation right now and you don't like what's happening to you, you have to change your world. Okay? It's pretty simple. Just change your world. What it means is basically take the environment you're in, and change it. So if that means getting rid of your friends, getting rid of the job that you currently have, and starting over again, then that's what you do, and it's going to cause some pain short term. I'm going to let you know right now, it'll cause some pain, but have thick skin. Don't listen to the naysayers, like the people who are going to tell you you're crazy and you need to keep a job or whatever it might be. Don't listen to them. Just do what makes you happy. Okay? For me, it was more of a lifestyle change. I didn't want to work 70, 80 hours a week and basically be working for free after I hit my 40 hours because I was on salary. And that's another thing. These companies will take advantage of you. So you have to be smart when it comes to negotiating in your interviews for a career and stuff like that. If you're on salary, don't do it. I'm going to tell you right now, do not do it, because these companies will take advantage of you and they will run you into the fucking ground. Like, you're going to have nothing left within a couple years, and you're going to be so frustrated with where you're at because you're not getting ahead. You're basically working for free after 40 hours, and they'll make damn sure that you're going to be working over 40 hours a week. I can almost guarantee it. So think twice when you're in an interview and people are asking, what do you think about salary? Like, if I go back and do an interview now and people ask me, are you willing to take a salary? The only way I'm going to do it is if that includes commissions. And what am I talking about here? I'm talking about sales. The only job that I know out there right now that's worth a damn, that's going to make you money for what you're worth and what you bring to the table as far as hard work, would be sales. Because you can attach yourself to the revenue of the company, and you have more control over your income. Like, if you don't like the income you're bringing in at the moment, and you're getting compensated for selling a product for the company, well, you're attached to the revenue of the company. So what do? You just sell more of that product, right? If you're on salary and you're an employee, you can't do that. If you're just providing a service and you're an employee of a company and you're not attached to the revenue of the company, you can't do shit. You're going to go to your day job, you're going to sit at a desk, you're going to work 8 to 10 hours your fucking day away, and by the end of the week, you've wasted probably 20 hours of work or 10 hours of work or whatever it might be, after you've been compensated for your 40 hours and you're just working for free. If I'm going to work for free, I want to be attached to the revenue of the company. That way, if I am working for free, I can sell my product and I can make money, you know what I mean? And continue increasing my income. So, I don't know, I'm going off of a rant right there. Going into a little bit of a rant, and it's just because I see what these companies are doing to people, and it absolutely it's ridiculous. The middle class, they're getting wiped out. People are going to school, they're getting these fancy little pieces of paper with their name on it. They think they're doing something because they're going into debt for it as well, and they come out of college and they're looking for a job and nobody will fucking hire them. And the reason why a lot of times is because they don't have any experience. So you need to get experience But on top of that, you got to be able to sell. You got to be able to sell yourself, which is, it comes back to sales. So I guess what I'm trying to say here is, to wrap this video up, is that if you're in a position where you're frustrated, you feel like you're lost, sit down, take a deep breath, take a step back, and try to figure out what it is that makes you happy, as far as, work, but not to mention, look at your skill sets. Look at what it is you bring to the table, because I'm sure there's something there for you that is special about you. And don't let anybody ever tell you otherwise, because there is something special about you as a human being. You just have to find it. You have to find out what it is that really drives you, your purpose, your why, and start going to town, man. Like, get to work. You know what I mean? You cannot waste time. The world's full of procrastinators, so don't waste another minute. Hone in on whatever it is and start working towards a goal. If you have to stay in corporate America and get a job, I'm going to tell you right now, I've been in 3 different industries over the past decade: information technology, engineering and drafting, and now sales and marketing. Okay, and I can tell you right now, of those 3, 2 of them are supposed to be high in demand and some of the highest paying jobs that are out there. And I can tell you, it sets you up for failure. So I had to make a shift and change my world, change my environment. So I went into sales, attached myself to the revenue of a company, and it's a lot of hard work. There's still a lot of hard work. There's still a lot of things I have to do, but I can tell you, I'm much happier because I have more control. Not to mention, I've also set up my own business, outside of being an employee. So again, life is a process, and I guess that's what I'm going to end with here, is life is a process. Just remember that. Don't get frustrated. Focus on yourself, and make the transition, because at the very end of the day, it doesn't matter what other people think about you. They could give 2 shits what you're doing. Ask yourself this: like, if you're in a situation right now where you're driving a beat up car, living in an apartment, ask yourself, does anybody care? Is anybody going to remember that 5 years from now? No, they're not. So if you know that, then there's nothing to be afraid of, really, in regards to what other people think about you. Just do what makes you happy. Do you. With that, I'm going to end on that note. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, go ahead and hit the smash button there on the subscribe button, because I'm going to be putting out content on what it is I'm doing, and a lot of the stuff I'm teaching in my YouTube channel will help you get started doing your own thing, so that you can start building on what it is that makes you happy. Okay. With that said, I'll talk to you guys later.